Hello and welcome back to Canada Top to Bottom. Now, if you've been following Canadian immigration over the last few months, you will know that there has been quite a lot going on recently. The Immigration Minister, Sean Fraser, announced in July that Bill C-19 was definitely going to be passed and would be implemented in early 2023. Little is known about it so far, but what we do know is that from 2023, the Immigration Minister will have the power to choose how express entry candidates will be selected, and it will no longer just be based on how many CRS points you have.
Despite the complete disaster caused by the pandemic over the last couple of years, there continues to be a steady increase in the number of people wanting to immigrate to Canada. But the recent announcement has left a lot of people wondering what the future of Canadian immigration will look like, as we predict that one of the main targeted areas for express entry draws will be on the occupation and work experience of candidates.
This is because now that the dust has settled after the pandemic, it's becoming clear that there are huge staff shortages across Canada in certain occupations, which of course need to be filled. So today we're going to look at 10 of the most in-demand jobs in Canada right now, and you might be pleased to hear that they are not all management or highly skilled jobs. There is something for everyone employment-wise in Canada right now, both blue-collar and white-collar roles across a range of skills, strengths and experience. We'll also look at what NOC codes these occupations are classified under and what kind of hourly wage you can expect to earn from them.
If you are unsure of what NOC codes are, it is a system used by the Government of Canada to classify occupations. All occupations are grouped into categories based on the type of work a person does, the skill level, the education required, and the types of duties they fulfill. You can click on the link in the description box below to find out which NOC code your experience fits into.
The first one is Marketing Manager. The recent prediction is that there will be close to 20,000 new marketing, public relations and advertising manager roles created in the next 6 years. One of the main roles of marketing managers is to help businesses implement marketing strategies. They are responsible for developing and implementing marketing plans in order to attract potential customers and retain existing ones. This occupation is so sought after now that a number of provinces are adding it to their own provincial nominee programs. The NOC code for marketing managers is 0124 and the average hourly wage is around $43 an hour.
Next is an occupation you may have heard a lot about over the last few years, and that is registered nurse. There are very few jobs in healthcare which are not in demand around the world, and in Canada it is no different, with registered nurse being one of the most in-demand jobs across the country. There was a huge labour shortage of nurses during the pandemic, and the shortage continues, largely due to the requirement to be vaccinated, which means there are a huge amount of opportunities for those either with a nursing background or who are interested in training to be a nurse. A lot of provincial programs have a specific healthcare stream for foreign workers with nursing experience, and there are also a lot of additional perks being offered to registered nurses.
Something else to consider is that Canada is very focused on health and well-being and has a great healthcare system. The NOC code for registered nurses is 3012 and the average hourly wage can be anything from $40 per hour up to $77.
Next, we're going to talk about drivers. Now, drivers of all kinds are hugely in demand across Canada, whether it means local delivery drivers, forklift drivers, or those driving large commercial vehicles across the country. People with professional or commercial driving experience are now highly sought after following the pandemic as the economy starts to recover. In short, if you have the qualifications and experience to drive a commercial vehicle, then you will unlikely encounter too much trouble finding a job in Canada.
The NOC codes associated with drivers are 7511, 7512, 7513 and 7514, and the average hourly wage can vary from around $19 up to $25 an hour depending on the type of driving you're doing and the licensing and experience you have.
So the next occupation to mention is veterinarians, or vets as they're more commonly known. Having lived in Canada almost a year now, we are constantly surprised by how many dog owners we come across. Every other person you see has a dog. and there are specific dog exercise parks dotted around the city, so it's no wonder vets are in demand. In general, Canadians love domestic pets, but there are relatively few vets compared to the number of household pets, meaning that vets are one of the most in-demand occupations in Canada right now.
As expected, qualified vets will need the necessary degree from an approved veterinary school and will need to obtain the correct licensing from the regulatory body in the province they are in. But if you have the qualifications and the experience in this field, expect to earn an average annual salary of just under $100,000. The NOT code for vets is 3114.
Okay, so next we have Customer Service Representatives, or CSRs. CSRs are not limited to one industry and can work across a huge number of fields, which means that if you have experience as a CSR in the construction industry, you may easily be able to transfer these skills over to the healthcare industry, for example. The main role of a customer service representative is to help solve customer problems, inquiries and complaints, either in person, over the phone or via email. Again, as the economy gets back on track after the pandemic, CSRs continue to be in high demand in Canada. The NOT code for a customer service representative is 6551 for financial institutions and 6552 for all other institutions. And the starting hourly rate is usually around $19 an hour and could go up to about $23 an hour.
Sticking with the office setting, administrative assistants generally work in an office environment, providing clerical support for colleagues such as filing, record keeping, proofreading correspondence, preparing invoices, answering phones, scheduling appointments, and ordering office supplies. If you have specialist experience in accounting or bookkeeping, there will be increased opportunities, as these roles are even more in demand. The NOT code for an administrative assistant is 1241, and you can expect an average salary of $20 to $23 per hour or $40,000 to $45,000 per year, depending on the business.
Another in-demand job in Canada right now is pharmacists. We won't get into what the role of a pharmacist is, as if this is your area of expertise, it's likely you already know. Pharmacists are required to have a degree in pharmacy and also pass the exam conducted by the Pharmacy Examining Board of Canada. As pharmacists are provincially regulated, you have to register in your province to become certified to practice in Canada. Pharmacists can either work in a hospital, in a drugstore, or in their own private pharmacy. This of course means that the salary can vary, but in general this is one of the highest paying in-demand jobs in Canada, with an average hourly rate of $45 or an annual salary of $90,000. The NOT code for a pharmacist is 3131.
The final three in-demand occupations are all skilled trades, which shouldn't come as too much of a surprise, as Canada is desperate for skilled tradespeople across the nation due to a lack of immigration over the last few years, and also the increasing demand for housing versus the supply available. The first trade we're going to talk about is welders. It's predicted that Canada is going to create 23,000 welding positions in the next 6 years, which is huge. A lot of these roles are due to the number of people retiring over the next 10 years, and according to the latest figures, welders are in particularly high demand in British Columbia and Prince Edward Island.
The great thing about welding is that it is essential across so many different industries, making it an incredibly versatile occupation in Canada. Some of the possible industries for experienced welders are not only construction, but also power companies, maintenance companies, and railroads. Welders can expect to earn anything up to $50,000 per year, or even up to $70,000 or $80,000 a year in the far-reaching, less hospitable parts of the country, such as the Northwest Territories. Another great advantage of welding as a trade is that there is often minimal education required. You don't need a degree or a university diploma to work as a welder. You may just need vocational training and can often start with no experience at all and be trained on the job. The NOT code for welders is 7237.
As well as needing skilled tradespeople, Canada is in desperate need for general construction labourers. This is a great opportunity for low-skilled workers or those without a lot of formal education. Roles within general labouring are moving materials and equipment, heavy lifting, unskilled work such as carrying and assisting the construction workers. Now, the work can be physically demanding, but often doesn't require formal education or training. Depending on the employer and the need for labour, workers can sometimes be trained on the job to complete more skilled tasks. And with the incredible amount of construction going on in Canada right now, it's easy to see why labourers are in demand.
Again, a lot of these gaps in the labour market in the next few years are going to be caused by people retiring from the workforce. Indeed, recent data from Statistics Canada shows that 1 in 5 working Canadians will be retiring in the next 5 years, meaning the construction industry could lose around 25,000 workers by the year 2028.
With construction work often comes excellent benefits such as flexible working hours, paid vacation, health benefits and a pension plan. The more skilled and experienced you are, the more likely you are to find work. However, there is still a shortage of unskilled yet willing and able workers. Good provinces to look at if you are interested in this kind of work are Ontario, Alberta, British Columbia and Nova Scotia, which have the most amount of construction jobs right now. You can expect to earn around $40,000 to $50,000 a year, and the NOT codes associated with general construction labourers are 7611, 7612, 7621.
As with the vets, if your field of expertise is as an electrician, there is not much we can add with regards to job description. If you're an electrician, you hopefully already know what the job involves, and if you don't, then you've got a lot to learn. What we do know is this, that recent estimates have shown that Canada is expected to need more than 23,000 electricians from 2019 to 2028 to fill labour market gaps, and it's predicted that there are only around 20,000 qualified job seekers available to fill these roles.
Electricians are vital to keeping operations in Canada going, so for this reason electricians in all areas of the trade are in high demand across Canada, including but not limited to domestic electricians, industrial electricians, power system electricians and telecommunications, installation and repair workers. Skilled electricians can expect to earn upward of $30 per hour, and the NOT codes for these areas of the trade are 7241, 7242 and 7243.
As we said, there is very little currently known about the new targeted express entry draws, but if they are going to focus on occupations, then it's likely we will see some of these in-demand occupations featuring more and more. Do you have any experience in any of these roles? And if not, are you considering gaining some experience to boost your chances of getting selected for express entry?
If you like our videos, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.